and welcome to...
Oh my goodness, not another podcast.
See, every time we do it, we're getting better and better at that.
Oh yeah, we're rocking it.
Yes, experts.
We
And
say
so,
works good.
welcome to our 26th podcast. I do apologize for the fact that I have not posted the audio for the 25th one. I did post the video for it, though, and when I do finally post the audio, I will post the video link there, too, in case you want to watch it on YouTube instead. Yeah, we have that option for the last one, and it looks like we're going to do that again. So, hi, nice to see you if you're watching us. Of course, I'm Dreams.
Mike, I don't have a nickname.
You know, we're going to have to just make one up for him since he keeps saying that every single podcast. I don't have a nickname. We're going to have to give him one. But anyway, we have quite a few fun stories for you today, and then we have a little activity that should be fun. You guys can play with Mike. That sounded awful. You can play along in the game.
No, I think I liked it better the first way.
Oh, I'm sure your wife would not. Okay.
Ashley's in the other room.
She doesn't know. It doesn't hurt her. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Anyway, moving forward. So I think last time you did the poo story, right?
Yes, I did. If I believe that is correct.
Okay. And so I can do the poo story this time.
Yes. I have seen this one, though. It's quite vexing.
It's vexing?
Yeah, like, why?
Oh.
I guess I didn't, read the article.
Okay. So apparently, this comes from CNN. It says, wombat poop. Scientists have finally discovered why it's cubed. And so apparently, unlike humans, wombats have cubic poop.
Cubic poop. They poop in a higher dimension.
I guess so. They poop in 3 dimensions. Technically, cylindrical poops are still 3 dimensions. But anyway.
Oh, yes. I suppose we could have a scatological topology lecture here.
True. Mm-hmm. All right. It says, and they show a little picture of a wombat. It's too cute. It's a little 8-month-old Derek the wombat. They named it.
They are very cute.
Yes. Okay. Now, this is a team of scientists claims to have unraveled one of the animal kingdom's more peculiar mysteries. Why wombat poop is cube-shaped. And then it goes through all sorts of blah, 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 but I'm going to skip down. Basically, it just says that we've been puzzled by how in the world that mammal produces cube shapes for their poo. It says the wombat native to Australia produces about 80 to 100 cubes of poop each night. That's a lot of poo.
That's a lot of poo. It makes me kind of wonder, because those things aren't that big.
No, I wonder where all that poo comes from. It's known to deposit piles of dung outside barrels and on top of rocks and logs, most likely to communicate with other wombats, researchers believe. Anyway, it goes down. And then it says, to solve the puzzle, the team examined the digestive tracts of wombats that had to be euthanized following vehicle collisions in Tasmania, Australia. So, I don't know why they had to be euthanized. It doesn't say.
They probably got hit.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. It says a wombat takes about 2 weeks to digest its food, and researchers found that as feces move into the final 8% of the intestine, it changes from a liquid-like state, I swear I can talk today, into solid matter. At that stage, the dung takes on the shape of separated cubes measuring about 2 centimeters in length. So these are, they're decent-sized little...
Yeah, especially for as small as those things are.
Yeah.
And there's 80 to 100 of them?
Yes, per night. And it's from 2 weeks ago. So this wombat is carrying 2 weeks of food in their belly. Really?
Didn't they say that John Wayne died with 8 pounds of poop inside him too? So he's like the John Wayne of the rodent family.
I have not weighed John Wayne's poop, or I did not see anything about the weight of John Wayne's poop at his death. But we could always try to look that up for next week. If any of our listeners do know what the weight of John Wayne's poop was when he died, you can email us at omgnap@gmail.com, because apparently this is a thing. Anyway, it says the weird thing is that if you open up a wombat, you actually find the cubes become formed in the lower part of the intestine before they exit the body, Carver said. By inflating the intestine with a long balloon, the researchers found that the wombat's intestine walls stretch unevenly, allowing for the formation of the cube shapes. The local strain varies from 20% at the cube's corners to 75% at its degrees, the team said. Basically, around the circumference of the intestine, there are some parts that are more stretchy and some parts that are more stiff. I'm pretty sure that's what they meant when they said that they stretch unevenly, but anyway, okay.
See, I mean, not to like get all up in it, but I mean, like the anus is a circle, right? I mean, does this mean that they have like cubic butts, cubic buttholes? I mean,
I do not know. Maybe they just have flexible sphincters.
I don't know. I don't know. Or maybe they're just like their poo's really hard and it can survive the circle squishing. I don't know.
That's they always say is trying to like putting a square in a round hole.
See, I think this almost kind of raises more questions than it answers, right? It says I don't know, how does it get out like a sphere, like a cube?
The fact is that it happens. Okay, I don't know. They must stretch in some manner. I don't know. I just think that they should not eat corn.
Yeah, they need more fiber in their diet. Well, I guess they don't need more fiber if they're pooping 100 times a night.
That's true. But if they eat corn, it'll come out whole and it'll mess up the cubes.
That's true.
So anyway, wombats have cubed poop. Actually, that's why I picked this story, because I didn't know that they had cube poop to begin with. And so that to me was interesting. And plus, wombats are cute little animals.
That's something I think I had heard that a while ago. But I don't know. It's just kind of one of those things I forgot, I guess. I don't know. It's
probably not something you keep in your head.
But you don't keep wombat poop in your head?
No, the fact that they're cute. Now I won't be able to get rid of that fact, of course. But previously, I mean, I just don't think that I kept that sort of information in my brain. All right. Well, it is definitely your turn, and you may pick another story.
Okay. I picked this because I used to live there. New Mexico is a foreign country.
I was born there.
You were born there. I didn't know you were born there.
I was born there. I was born in New Mexico.
Where were you born?
Albuquerque.
The ABQ. Okay.
Yes.
It's like I say, no matter what my daughter ever goes on to do with her life, she will always have been born in Clovis, New Mexico.
Ah, Clovis. I'm very familiar with Clovis.
Why?
Okay. Well, I think we did play there for once, but anyway, Clovis isn't too far from where we are here, and there was a friend of mine that I went to college with that lived in Clovis, and so occasionally he would take me with him home, and we would go visit his parents and then come back.
Okay, yeah, I forgot where you live currently, so that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I mean, my husband goes to Hobbs, New Mexico every week to join in their community band. In fact, he had a concert today, and that it's only 45 minutes away. We're right by the border.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. Okay. I forgot you live up there. Yes. Okay. Yay. Yeah. I lived in Portales for 5 years.
Okay, familiar with that too. Yeah. And I mean, I used to go to New Mexico a lot when I was a kid to visit my grandparents. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm sure this is all riveting for the people who are listening. It's just like, oh, hey, a bunch of fools catching up.
I don't think they mind.
Right. So anyway, I guess in honor of both of us, yes. I had seen this earlier too. A friend of mine posted it. So brought this up. It says a New Mexico man applying for a marriage license in Washington, D.C. this month had his state driver's license rejected as a form of identification because a clerk and her supervisor believed New Mexico was a foreign country.
Yeah.
Gavin Clarkson of Las Cruces, New Mexico, which I guess, Cruces is pretty far south, said he was at the District of Columbia Marriage Bureau applying for a license when their nuptial plans hit a brief snag. He told him he would need an international passport on the apparent belief that he wasn't a U.S. citizen.
So apparently, according to them, New Mexico is no longer a part of the United States, and you need a passport.
Yeah, it was when I read this, it reminded me there was something on The Simpsons one time where Mr. Burns, I think it was when they were going to move the power plant to Albuquerque. Which here, fun fact, the Albuquerque baseball team, they're the Isotopes.
And I've been to plenty of games. Yes.
Yes, they got that from The Simpsons because they were going to move the Springfield Isotopes to Albuquerque. And they were going to call the Albuquerque Isotopes, so they kept them on as the Springfield Isotopes. Anyway.
They also had the Albuquerque Dukes for the longest time. It was a minor league team.
They did, yeah. I think they turned those into. I think that's what they turned. They just renamed.
That's what they turned into Isotopes. Okay.
Yeah. We were talking about something I forgot. I got off of.
You were talking about. Oh gosh. You were talking about. Well, you did it. You mentioned it. Wait, a friend? No.
Brilliant.
You said that you'd heard something. You said that you'd heard something recently about, or there was another story about.
I don't remember.
It's all his fault. He mentioned the Isotopes first. I'm just saying that. And now everybody's going to pause this and rewind to see what you're talking about, and they're going to have to remind you later.
But yeah, so there's actually anyway. But there was something gosh, I think it was while I was still living out there, so it was a while ago, that New Mexico, I forget exactly what it was, but you didn't need to be a 100% legal citizen in order to get a driver's license.
I think that was true, yes.
Yeah, and so a lot of the times, some places wouldn't take New Mexico driver's licenses because I guess the restrictions on who could get them were pretty lax.
Right.
And so I'm wondering if this person kind of had it in the back of their head that, I remember what I was going to talk about. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
Good.
So yes. So when Mr. Burns, good God, I'm all over the place. I apologize. You're doing just fine. You're the Rock. Anyway, so
I have my days too. I promise. Go ahead, keep going, because we don't want you to lose it again.
What was I talking about? No, anyway,
Mr. Burns.
So they were talking about, it's oh yeah, we're going to move the plant to New Mexico. Mr. Burns says, wait. There's a New Mexico now? So there you go.
Sounds about right.
5 minutes of tangent for that weak little punchline there. So, yes.
Well, we had to circle all the way around so we could figure out what we were talking about.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. Maybe they're just a hardcore Simpsons fan, or maybe they just still had it in the back of their mind that, the driver's license laws were a little bit lax. I don't know.
I find it hilarious. I don't know. Having to prove that you're from the U.S. when you're clearly from a U.S. state.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It is kind of tucked down there in kind of a part of the country where nobody really thinks about New Mexico.
I do. Well, yeah, I was born there.
Yeah. And I lived there for 5 years, and you live right there. But
yeah.
And it's always kind of funny because when I lived there, and I don't know if you've ever experienced this, when I lived there, and I would tell people that I was from New Mexico, their eyes would light up. They're like, "Oh man, I love New Mexico. Oh, it's a beautiful state in the world." And I'm like, "You like the northern third of the state."
Yeah, I was gonna say the rest of it's flat and dusty and desert.
Yeah,
kind of like Arizona.
Mm-hmm. Like where I lived, where you live. Yeah, it's flat as a pancake, cow country.
We had a mountain on either side.
Oh, you had mountain? Oh, really?
We had a couple. Yeah, my grandparents lived right near one of the mountains.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm sitting here scrolling down here a little bit, and it says, you're from flyover country when you're applying for a marriage license, and you give them your New Mexico driver's license, and they come back and say, my supervisor says we can't accept international driver's license. And I remember that when I read that, I was like, New Mexico's not really flyover state, is it?
I don't think so.
Because that's normally like Kansas and Nebraska, places like that.
Yes, I agree. I don't know.
There's not really enough big cities down there to even really fly into. I mean, there's what?
Albuquerque.
Yeah, Albuquerque's like the only place that has an airport, really.
For the Consequences is pretty big, isn't it?
I don't know. I didn't even know TRC had an airport, honestly.
Well, it might not have an airport.
I don't know.
I remember.
Cruces might. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Las Cruces does. I don't know. You're right. There's not that many airports around. But yeah, who knows? It's just like, well, I think they mean by flyover is they skip it.
Yeah, I suppose.
Like they don't stop there. They just skip that state and they just keep going to the next state.
Well, here's a little tip for the listeners: don't make New Mexico a flyover state. It's a parts good portions of the state are really.
You know what? You know what's really good is their food.
Oh, dude, I miss New Mexican food so much. Their
food is amazing. They put green chili on everything.
Mm-hmm.
And hatch green chili, oh my gosh, is really good. But their food is really good. They have a unique flavor that I actually haven't seen anywhere outside of New Mexico. And of course, no one says, hey, let's go get some New Mexican food. And so it's not like they have restaurants elsewhere. But like their stuffed sopapillas and all that stuff that they have, and just the way New Mexico does it is absolutely amazing. So they have, they have some things that are truly unique. And I would say, if nothing else, go just for the food.
I would second that. Actually, there's it's not necessarily thought of as a food destination, but yeah, I mean Santa Fe's got good stuff. Taos got good stuff. I mean Taos has got some pretty highly rated restaurants, like fine dining stuff.
Oh yeah.
Albuquerque, not so much. You're going to be eating in taquerias in Albuquerque.
Oh, in Albuquerque, you need to find little holes in the walls. It's those little mom and pop places that are just, oh my god, so good. Yeah,
or Blake's Burgers.
Well, you don't have to go to Albuquerque to get Blake's Burgers, but anyway. Okay, so we have a little game that I'd like to play with Mike here, and you guys can play along. As I mentioned at the beginning, play along. All right, so my family, we play a lot of board games and card games and stuff like that. We just do. We enjoy those. And we got 2 new ones this week, but one of them was called Stupid Deaths. And my husband's like, oh my gosh, you don't have to use the word stupid. He's kidding. And I just said, well, I got it because it's not PC. That's kind of the point. And in this Stupid Deaths game, you have a Grim Reaper like chasing you. And you have a stupid vote. Everything's stupid. Anyway. I have a couple of the Stupid Death cards here, and I'm going to read them to Mike, and then he's going to tell me whether he thinks they're true or false, because that's kind of how you play the game. And we'll see how good Mike is, because last time, remember, Mike's pretty awesome at weird stuff. And so this should be fun. You have your own nerdiness, even if you don't game. All right, so the first card here is Alexander Graham Bell. It says it's born 1847, died 1922. On a stormy night at his remote Nova Scotia home, Bell, feeling chest pains, telephoned his brother, but the static on the line from the storm's intensity muffled the doctor's potentially life-saving instructions. Or I'm sorry, did I say brother? He called his doctor. Not his brother. Okay. Mr. Bell passed away while the good doctor kept shouting, "Can you hear me now?" True or false?
I would say there's several things there that make me say that it is not true.
So therefore, false is your answer?
False would be the answer.
Yes, it is false. All right, here we go.
Yeah, because Homeboy was in New Jersey, wasn't he?
I have no idea. All right, Sigmund Ziesch Breitbart. Not the Breitbart you guys are familiar with, just so you know. Obviously, because that guy's still alive. Anyway, born 1883, died 1925. During his time, Ziesch was known as the strongest man in the world. He could bend metal bars into pretzels, lift baby elephants, and hammer nails with his bare hands. One day, a nail scratched his knee during a performance, and this invincible man died of blood poisoning. Pointless. True or false?
I'll say that's true.
You are correct. That is true. Woohoo! So far it is Mike 2, game 0. All right, here we go. Harold Davidson, born 1875, died 1937. After working to rehabilitate prostitutes, Father Harold was defrocked on the grounds of immorality. Afterward, he made a living performing as a seaside attraction. In front of his final public audience, he appeared in Daniel in the Lion's Den, sharing a cage with 2 lions. One lion mauled him to death.
I'm going to say false. I don't know if you would necessarily, if you were defrocked, you might not be the biggest fan of the church. So I'm going to say false.
It was actually true. Because he was defrocked on grounds of immorality. So my guess is he did something to be defrocked.
Mm-hmm.
So he may have done it on purpose. But yeah, no, that one was true. We'll just do one more, I guess. All right.
Kind of fun.
Yeah, it was a blast. My kids and I played it. It was so much fun. Okay, Bernie Harmer, born 1926, died 1968. Harmer loved the outdoors and regularly slept under the stars. During a solo camping trip in England's Lake District, Harmer chopped wood for his fire. Unfortunately, he had indulged in a few winter warmers and was so drunk he chopped his hand off and bled out. Fellow campers found him the next morning.
I'm going to say, yeah. No, I'm going to say that sounds like a Florida thing, but it took place in England, so I'm going to say false.
It is false, yes. And so this game is a blast, just so y'all know. It's so much fun because you're trying to outrun the Grim Reaper. It's actually a really fast game. We played 2 games in 1 hour, so it's really fast.
Your life is a little bit different than mine. I recently bought Pop the Pig, and that's been the big hit in our house for the past 2 days.
I bought something called Exploding Kittens for the kids for their Christmas. Those of you who know my kids, don't say anything to them. And it sounds awful. Like, it sounds really awful, but it looks like it's going to be a blast. So we got Exploding Kittens that'll be under the tree because we have tons of games. We have Scrabble. We have the Labyrinth game, like the movie The Labyrinth. It's awesome. Oh my God.
How does that work?
You have cards that you have to roll against to see if you beat whatever you're doing, and then the card either stays or it goes. It's actually kind of complicated, but it's really fun. My kids luckily are older, and so they can handle some of these other games. Of course, we have Uno. We found a game called Dos yesterday. That was from the makers of Uno. We didn't get it. We should have. I asked my son, I was like, why'd you put it back? I didn't tell you to put it back. And so we almost brought home 3 games, but we ended up only bringing home 2. And so the other one we got is called Quicks, I think. And it's a dice game. And so, yeah, we have a lot of fun in my house with games. All right, so next story. I just talked a lot, so I don't know. I guess I can do it, though. All right, so the next story that I'm going to bring up is called Edible Slime.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so apparently the mad scientists at Jell-O have figured out how to make edible slime. And up here it says Jell-O Play Unicorn Slime.
Ooh.
Yes. Your body is probably still digesting yesterday's fantastic feast and bracing for leftovers, but it's already time to start planning next year's Thanksgiving dinner. And now that Kraft Foods has seemingly done the impossible and invented edible slime, Grandma's Jell-O salad will never be the same. Not content with just re-engineering the classic Jell-O formula so that the dessert can be used to make jiggly toy building blocks, a team of food scientists, oops, I have an ad. Okay, a team of food scientists hidden away somewhere in Kraft Foods' secret laboratories asked a question no one has ever asked before. What if slime was edible? Now, this does not imply that slime has never been ingested before. There's undoubtedly countless children who've sampled their gooey play toy out of curiosity or to prove their playground bravado. But Jell-O's new do-it-yourself slime, part of its recent play line, is completely edible without the risk of going blind or needing your stomach pumped after snacking. I don't know. I heard of other ways that people go blind other than eating slime, but... All right, moving on.
I might need to get some of this.
Right? Whipping up a batch is apparently as easy as adding water to an included mix and stirring for 30 seconds, at which point you'll be left with brightly colored, non-Newtonian fluid that you can squeeze, squish, massage, and tear with your hands for about an hour before you'll need to add more water to keep it fluid. There will be 2 flavors available at launch: pink, unicorn-themed, strawberry, and green, monster-themed, lime. But there's no word on how much each container will cost when they hit stores next month. Okay, so they're supposed to hit stores this month.
Apparently.
It looks like. That's awesome. Oh, this was submitted by Keithor, by the way, for those of you familiar with Keithor. That's
Who's
my
Keithor?
husband. My husband.
Really?
Well, that's his online name. Yeah.
No, okay. I was like, your husband wrote this, but then it was said submitted. I was like,
No, he submitted.
You're married to Andrew Lazuski?
No. No, you're the famous one in this podcast, remember? All right. So what's in the slime? According to a listing on Amazon, it's already on Amazon. It contains modified food starch, sugar, gelatin, contains less than 2% of, is it adipic acid?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I'd say adipic, yeah.
Adipic, yeah. Acid, disodium phosphate, sodium citrate, artificial flavor. Okay, you don't care. Anyway, but there is red 40 in there. So if your kids are allergic to red 40, don't get that one. Anyway, nothing we have seen in other highly processed snacks before, or nothing we haven't seen in other highly processed snacks before, and a distinct lack of real monster or unicorn ingredients, which some might find disappointing. That is true.
Yeah. I know. Just I had not actually even thought of that until they put that line in, and now I am.
Now I think they need to add little candy unicorns to one and little candy monsters to the other.
That is actually a solid idea.
Yeah, that way they can have unicorns and monsters. Anyway, okay.
It's like that king cake in New Orleans, right? When they put the little baby in the cake, and if you get the baby, you get like good luck for the next year. They could have like a little unicorn.
I've heard of that as like around Christmas time, putting a little cross or a baby Jesus, in that cake, and then as you cut it around, you're the one that. Actually, what I've heard is the person who gets it is the one who has to host it the next year. Yes, it says, but those people have obviously forgotten how to have fun with their food. I have not forgotten how to have fun with my food. I just want a unicorn in my unicorn stuff and a monster in my monster stuff. I'm highly offended now. No, I don't think I could be highly offended by a news article. But I think I would just stop reading the news article. But anyway, so this looks like it's a lot of fun. And so it's supposed to come out this month. And so I would say, look for some unicorn slime or some monster slime and, enjoy yourselves.
Yeah, my daughter and I made our own gummy snacks one time, and that was actually pretty easy. So this looks like it's even easier.
Yeah, I like when you do the flat thing and then you use the cookie cutters.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
Yeah, it was essentially just Jell-O with extra gelatin, like unflavored gelatin is essentially all it was.
Yeah, it's a little more stiff type. Yep, I remember those. Those are fun. And if you don't use that certain one, then it happens to fall apart, like as you're pulling it up, but then you get to eat it anyway. So either way, it works. Okay, your turn.
Sorry, I'm looking up the exact definition of a non-Newtonian solid here. I forget exactly what it is. It's like cornstarch, right? So they've had there you go. It's like cornstarch. Like I've seen it where they fill up like these huge giant vats of cornstarch and water, and it turns into this Newtonian fluid. And you can actually run across it. Like
with shoes or barefooted? I guess that doesn't matter.
Either one, I would assume, but I don't know.
Anyway, I would think shoes would tear it up.
I got off. I don't think people would care, so I clicked off. Anyway.
It's all good. This is the quintessential nerd podcast. Okay, actually, there's nerdier podcasts than this one, but if there's a way to turn this into a nerd thing, we will do it.
We've already talked about, like Hypercube says fecal matter, so
Right? Why not? All right. Your turn. Which one?
I guess keeping on the unicorn theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually kind of interesting because um, I've been reading a lot of mythology recently.
Okay.
Most specifically, right now, I'm reading kind of the mythology of China, because who doesn't read the mythology of China? But
My children didn't. They got that wrong today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got it right.
Yeah. so, and so yeah, so I've been reading like Chinese mythology, and I've been reading like Russian and Norse and all that. And so this is kind of interesting because of like where all these myths come from. And anyway, getting to the title, it says ancient rhino may be the origin of the unicorn myth. And if you look at the picture, okay.
I know, it looks really weird, doesn't it? It's like, wow. It doesn't look like a rhino.
No, the poor thing looks miserable. It's like the look in his eyes, like, dude, come on.
But it's in like the wrong place on its nose. It looks like it's like a buffalo with a giant horn coming out of its head.
Yeah, I mean seriously, like the look on his face is just like, dude,
stop drawing me,
dude, stop, dude.
just go away.
Just quit.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Unicorns are one of the more popular mythical creatures with their horn sticking out of their forehead. It's a horse with a horn on its head. It looks pretty, and some children like it. Well, what if the idea of unicorns were actually based on a dinosaur, an ancient rhino to be precise? Known as the Siberian unicorn, the animal had a long horn on its nose and roamed the grasslands of Eurasia. Eurasia.
Yeah, you're like Europe and Asia, yeah.
I know. I was making a stupid joke. Hey, you got to keep it rolling, right? New evidence shows the heavy actually died out because it was such a picky eater, weighing in at a mighty 4 tons with an extraordinary single horn on its head. The Siberian unicorn shared the earth with early modern humans up until at least 39,000 years ago. Huh.
So it died out because it was a piggy eater.
I think it kind of deserves to die out then.
Right? Survival of the fittest.
Right? I mean, come on.
Like, I'm giant, I'm 4 tons, but I don't want to eat that.
And it kind of makes you wonder how it like evolved and survived in the first place if it wasn't eating anything.
Well, it looks like its head is so far down. I mean, that horn looks heavy.
Yeah. But aren't horns what are horns made of? I don't even.
Well, it depends on what kind of horn you have. What elephant tusks are made of ivory. I mean, I guess it would just depend on what kind of, antlers, and I don't know. They're all made of, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess now that you answered that, yeah, like that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, okay.
But I don't know. The poor thing looks tortured.
It's like, I can't get over the picture's making me laugh. It's like, dude, I know I've got a horn coming out of my head. Do you really need to sit there and paint this picture? I mean, come on, man.
You can go now. It's okay. Pick another target.
This is why I'm a picky eater. I'm self-conscious about people coming over here and painting my picture, man.
Right? If you would just leave me alone. Yeah.
Come on.
All right. Well, I'm going to talk about something completely unrelated to unicorns. My news article is from the New York Daily News, and it says a high school football player suspended after running across a field with Oreo cookies wedged between their buttocks.
What's that chocolate filling?
What kind of Oreos are you eating?
I'll never tell.
Anyway, okay, so this was from Byron, Illinois. It says 10 football players at a northern Illinois school were suspended from the team for 3 games last month after they ran across the field naked with Oreo cookies wedged between their buttocks. The Rockford Register-Star reports that the Byron High School players were suspended for indecent exposure. I cannot talk today.
It's all good.
Were suspended for indecent exposure
Well, I mean, how long did it take me to track down that Mr. Burns story that went nowhere?
That's true. That's true. We've lost them all this time.
If
you're still with us, thank you. Oh, anyway, they were suspended for indecent exposure, but that the school administrators concluded that they went on the Oreo run at the school's football field voluntarily and were not victims of hazing. Then it has a picture of Oreo cookies because, that's exactly what we need. They're on a plate, though, not in someone's.
It's tastefully done.
The paper reported the story after obtaining a letter sent to parents of students who admitted to participating in the run in October. The students were forced to sit out games on November 19th, 17th, and 23rd, the last of which was the Class 3A state championship game in which Byron lost 24-20 to Monticello High School. And so they even had to sit out their final game. But, okay, so I've heard of streaking the field. I mean, it happens. It even happens at the Super Bowl. I remember that one time at the Super Bowl when that happened. But who decides that they need to put Oreo in their butts before they streak across the field? That's what I'm really concerned about. Why would you waste an Oreo cookie that way?
I guess you got to stick something in there. I don't know.
Why? You're afraid something's going to come out while you're running naked?
Well, I guess it's a test of like gluteal strength. Like if you squeeze too hard, it'll crumble. But if you don't squeeze hard enough, it'll fall out.
I don't know what you're talking about. With the shape of a butt, I don't think you have to squeeze.
Well,
put it in.
Well, yeah, I guess
I'll let you test it. How's that? You can explain to your wife.
Well,
why
I am in Florida, so weird things happen. So. I'm going to be one of the news stories next week, right?
Florida man goes to the emergency room.
Yes, I am Florida man.
Oh, goodness gracious. But I don't know. I just, I don't know about that one. Like I said, I've heard of streaking, and I don't know how they determined that it wasn't hazing either, because who would think of putting Oreos in their butts?
I don't know. I mean, I was a teenage boy once.
Yes, I'm sure you were. I was not. I
can kind of see doing something stupid like this. Just stupid fun. I don't know. It wasn't hazing, right? If it was hazing, that'd be completely different. But I don't know. It just seems like stupid teenage boy fun.
To me, it seems weird that they just go in the middle of a football game and they're like, let's just take off our uniform and run across the field with an Oreo shoved up our butt.
Oh, well, is that what it was? I guess did I miss that? We went on the Oreo run at schools. I guess it doesn't say when it happened.
Well, maybe it wasn't during a game, but it was football players. Mm-hmm. And they did run across the football field.
Yeah, if it was like 3:00 at night, though, then
nobody would have caught them.
I don't know.
It just makes me wonder if it was during a game or not.
Well, one of the qualifications in order to get onto the Supreme Court is you have to run an obstacle course with a cherry between your butt cheeks.
You're a liar.
No, it was from a TV show.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't believe in any of that.
Wouldn't that be something, though?
I wonder how many would hesitate running for the Supreme Court if they had to do that.
I don't know. Can you picture, like, Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
Oh, my God. No, I can't. That would be funny, though.
You can't or you won't?
I think I'm going to avoid that picture in my head for the moment. We'll just not go there. Because a cherry... I think
that might get stuck
some
up
issues. Yeah, there might be some issues with the cherry.
Yeah.
Is it pitted or not? I guess it doesn't matter.
But see, that is a good question, because then it could just become a gelatinous mush if it's not.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Although even if it's not pitted, I imagine it would come out easily if it did get stuck.
I don't know.
Cherries aren't that big.
That's true. But if they're like maraschino and they've got sugar on them, they might just like stick up there.
We're like raising our weirdness factor like 20 times this particular episode, I think.
Hey, I don't know. It's the moon is full or something. I don't know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you really want to raise a weirdness factor, we could do that not safe for work one.
Okay.
You're like, sure.
Yeah, why not? So
Okay, just if you are listening to us at work or with children around, you might want to pause it right now and listen to it later.
well, let's
This is
see.
not safe for work.
Let's just see just how not safe for work this is.
It's pretty not safe for work.
Okay, I mean it's a Cracked article, but
yes, it is. It is from Cracked.
The headline also though says parenthetic that the media just invented. So are these legit, or is this literally something that the media just invented?
That is the interesting part of the discussion if we do this, because I think some of these might be valid, but some of these might be invented, and so I don't know.
Right, because like that whole Tide Pods thing, when people were eating Tide Pods, like 2 people ate Tide Pods, and it was like this whole nationwide thing. So,
yeah, and they had to add stuff into it so they don't taste as good, and they had to take out certain ingredients, and it was a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that's why I thought this was interesting. Not because it's not safe for work. I mean, we do sometimes have those articles, but because they're literally saying that the media is making this stuff up. And so, I don't know.
So let's see, there's 5 of them. I think we should go one by one. I do one, you do one.
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. So this one is called The Dick and Dash.
And just to clarify, it says it's 5 alarming sex trends that the media just invented. Okay, so go ahead.
Right. So, and yeah. Ooh, there's an intro. Okay. So anyway, you know what a dine and dash is? It's when you go, okay, so blah blah blah. The Dick and Dash is sort of like that. You feign romantic interest in someone, binge watch Netflix shows with them, and even lean your gross ass toothbrush against theirs. And then, after you finally slap the salami in their boudoir, you vanish from their lives without ever opening your heart. This is just ghosting, isn't it?
Well, they're saying it's like after once, though. Literally, someone is whining and dining someone for a long period of time just to sleep with them once and then dump them.
Oh, that's ghosting, though, isn't it?
Well, ghosting just means that you basically just disappear off the face of the earth. So, I mean, I guess it would go together. You can ghost them after that. My thing is for this particular one, I'm not sure this one's made up.
I can certainly see how this would happen on multiple occasions throughout the world. But I will say,
yeah, I mean, in the comments even, they have somebody who's just like, this has been going on for a long time, and then they start listing.
I don't. Isn't that like a one-night stand?
Oh, no, and it's not a one-night stand because they're actually whining and dining them for a long period of time. They're watching Netflix with them. They're doing all of that stuff with them. And so they're actually forming a relationship with them, but the second they bump uglies, they're gone.
Okay.
Okay, see, here's one here. Somebody said better phrases than Dick and Dash. Splash and dash, skeet and retreat, nookie and bookie, slam and scram, relieve and leave, jolt and bolt, goose and vamoose, coitus and boitus, and hump and jump. And so they're literally saying that this has been going on for years and that it's nothing new.
Well, see, the thing that caught my eye was in the second paragraph. It's I'm keeping alive the informal Florida theme, the Tallahassee gas mask, and it is defined as when you fart into a hotel shower cap and then pull it over a loved one's face. It's like the Florida Dutch oven there.
Yeah, but aren't they? I mean, they said something specific about that one. They said that they're saying that the proof is that it was put into the Urban Dictionary last month.
Oh, okay, that's proof that it goes into Urban Dictionary. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so then they go on, I hate to tell you this, but the Urban Dictionary is not an official dictionary. People just add things. What you missed, he was like, oh, we missed the intro, was once you've lived on the planet for a little while, you learn that most people are terrified of the idea of other people having sex. That's why whenever 2 people get caught, for instance, doing it in the bakery, the news cycle responds with countless breaking. Are muffins making your teens horny? Stories. That said, you can't put too much stock in these kind of articles. And to demonstrate why, I'm going to debunk 5 recent sex crazes that the media insisted were things. And so the Dick and Dash was the first one. Like I said, that one seems kind of, no. Yeah. This next one, though, it's called the GIF tip.
I can see people doing all of these, though.
Yeah, but not making it a big thing.
Yeah.
It's not like a wide, rampant thing going on. Okay, it says, if you can make a sex craze fit the Venn diagram between dangerous and dumb as shit, you've struck oil. I guess that's why the GIF tip has been making rounds for a while now. A surprising number of people are definitely down to click on headlines like, teens seal their penis holes closed to avoid using condoms. Putting a sticker at the end of your dick was a disturbing new trend in some places, and the act of sex-crazed men in others. BuzzFeed also felt the urge to talk about the dick stickers, and so did NewsHub. Sensational headlines gave way pretty quickly to the real story of GIF tip, a little peel and stick patch you supposedly slap over your wang vent. The idea...
I've never heard wang vent.
There you go. You got a new term. You go, hey, wifey. Anyway, the idea here is that it covers your nostril. Or nozzle. Sorry, nozzle. Sorry, my nose is running. I don't know if y'all can notice I'm touching my nose. My nose is running.
Well, that's because... Is that because you GIF tipped your nose? I don't know.
No, it's running because I'm having allergy problems. But anyway, moving on. The idea here is that it covers your nozzles so that when you have sex, nothing shoots out and no one gets pregnant. Except that it's not proven to prevent pregnancy, and of course it doesn't prevent STIs, and is therefore literally useless in every way. So it would be news if people were doing it, but Snopes couldn't find evidence that anyone had ever used the thing. Likewise, I couldn't find an actual review of one anywhere online that wasn't the GIF tip website. So basically, they've just used this teens are sealing their dongs shut with glue sticks panic to get a bunch of free press. Good for you, dickhole product industry. I warned y'all this was not safe for work, but I did find this article interesting despite that.
That just, God.
Right?
That just sounds like it would hurt.
I think, yeah, super gluing anything would hurt, but a sticker, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem right. No. Not at all. Okay, your turn.
Hold on. I'm adjusting.
Am I going to have to edit this video?
At the rate we're going, come on. Right? They expect nothing but. Right.
You still love us, right, people? Okay.
Key phrase. All right. So HIV sex roulette. Let's see here. A HIV sex roulette party is apparently when a group of people get together to squish their squashies together, but one person is secretly HIV positive and no one is using protection. And yeah, I know the main thing on your mind now. How could anyone believe that's an actual thing? Well, apparently the appeal of HIV roulette is the danger and the belief that even if you catch HIV, it's mostly manageable these days anyway. So unexpectedly, this came from Spain. Unexpectedly? How is it unexpected that it came from Spain?
I don't know.
What are they doing in Spain?
I don't know.
Now I'm intrigued by Spain. That's why, I don't know. Unexpectedly, the answer is Spain. That sentence Spain. There.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, the Germans, they're weird.
I'm sure they expected us to be doing it here in America.
Well, so the original story was reported.
We usually get the Darwin Awards here.
Yes. We're the British. The British have a pretty proud tradition.
I think the Darwin Awards just go around. But anyway.
So a doctor is quoted as saying he had one patient who expressed to him that having protected sex was not an option for him because he was young, wanted to have fun, and felt that even if he got HIV, he'd be able to manage it if he caught it early enough. That's objectively dumber than shaving your crotch with a ferret straw. Not a group sex roulette.
It's not.
Okay.
You gonna read that next line?
Oh, let's see. The doctor did assure the paper that gay men in Barcelona are doing this, so there's that.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Well,
no.
I guess
No, I mean, who would purposely do that? Not only is it not okay to just do that. I mean, people with HIV protect. I mean, they're careful. I would think.
Mm.
I mean, why would they just go to a party where they could just infect as many people as possible? I mean, I don't see this type of thing happening.
Mm.
I see something. I can see this as definitely something that the media would take and just blow away out of proportion because our media is kind of out of control. No offense to you who goes on to a newscast every week, but yours is a little different.
All right, so
Media does go kind of nuts.
well, yeah, right. I mean, if it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah.
All right, so I think everybody can relate to the next one.
Okay. Yes. The next sex craze is called pegasms.
Which is not what you think initially.
No. It's not. It's not. What is it? A golden rain?
Shower.
Golden shower. That's right. Okay. It's not that. Okay. It says if you know how it feels to pee, then you know that if you hold in that pee for too long, finally letting the dam break feels super good. Not like, oh God, my own pee, harder, good, but it's certainly satisfying. I assume that by now you know where this is going. Suddenly, people all over are holding their pee in and then getting sexual pleasure when they let it out. This is referred to as a peegasm because fuck creativity. Always at the cutting edge of trends that aren't trends, the sun seems to be the
progenitor.
Really? Do they really have to use words like that?
I know, right? Look who's reading correct, and I think is that how you say progenitor?
I don't know. I've never seen that word before. It's saying the sun is the originator of this tale. I don't know if it's progenitor, progenitor.
We ain't much for that book learning.
They used a big word. Well, it's not even very big, but it's weird because I've never seen that word before, and I read quite a lot, and he's a professor at a college, and so the fact that we don't know this word makes it interesting. But anyway, the sun seems to be the originator of this tale, letting us all know that not only is there a veritable wildfire of withheld urine, but it's also dangerous. Other legit news sources like Business Insider and Global News in Canada picked it up to first inform people of what it is, and then let them know that everyone is doing it, but no one should do it. To me, that seems bad. Like that other one where we didn't even think of being upset because it didn't have unicorns and monsters in it until they said something. No one's going to think of doing this until they mention it.
Yeah.
Anyway. But if you backtrack a little, the Sun sourced this story from a thread on Reddit, which we know to be the sexual touchstone of humanity. In that thread, a man posted that his girlfriend told him she experiences orgasms if she holds her pee too long and finally gets to go. 6 people replied that they too had experienced this, and a couple more said it felt pleasurable but not orgasmic. And sweet Mary, mother of biscuits, the apocalypse is coming, the peegasm is upon us. Urinary tract infection. That's all I have to say. Did I lose you?
Then.
Oh, I did lose you for a second. Maybe? Okay, can you repeat what you said because I missed it?
Oh, okay, good. Well, I didn't really say anything. But I mean, if it was women, then maybe, right? I mean, I guess it kind of like it's what's your definition of is right? You know, so what exactly are you defining as an orgasm?
Orgasms are very specific. They feel a very specific way.
Well,
I don't think I know many people that can get an orgasm just from peeing, even if it feels really good. And I think, the people at the responded were probably quite right. It feels nice, but not orgasmic. I mean, orgasms are very specific.
That whole thing, it's I don't know. Right. Okay, so I haven't seen. Okay, so so coconutting.
Oh, yes, you get this fun one.
I don't know, those things are prickly. I don't know if I'd be wanting to rub those on my junk or anything. But who amongst us hasn't fucked a coconut? That's not rhetorical. I want your answers in the comment section. Let's see here.
I have not. Just saying.
I have not either. Although, I mean, it'd be, I'd rather shove a cookie up my butt than a coconut. So I guess there's that.
Well, I don't think they're saying to shove it up your butt.
Well, right.
They're talking about the other side.
You got to be spry in order to get that thing up there. Anyway, BuzzFeed actually scooped Maxim by a day on coconut porking when they shared how it was a whole thing. Sex with coconuts was a whole thing, not half a thing like shoving almonds up your ass, but a whole thing. There you go. I mean, we've kind of got like another kind of half theme going today with like putting things up your butt.
Let's avoid that.
Okay. Many other online publications were quick to agree. There were sexy coconuts out there, and people were fucking water right out of them.
Oh God!
Yeah. So now,
get it on with a coconut. It's like American Pie. Yeah, was it cherry pie or apple? I can't remember.
I think it was apple.
Yeah, it was warm. That's all I know.
Yeah, it was like warm apple pie. So yeah, apparently you cut a hole in a coconut and get after it.
Uh-huh. Now, it says the thing about this sexy coconut fun thing is that every one of those stories came from Reddit. So I don't know about you, but I just don't know how
legitimate.
Yeah. Because I wonder what makes me laugh about this is I wonder if this comes into someone's head. They decide, hey, I'm going to post this to be weird or to be a troll, and then people jump on board.
I would buy that. I would. It's kind of like, or that, or like I don't know. There was like the whole trope like 30 years ago of like the Penthouse forum letters, where like the first line form would always be the same, like dear Penthouse, I never thought these letters were real until it happened to me. It's the same kind of thing. It's just like, Reddit is like the Penthouse letters of 2018.
Or, what's that one website where where you don't ever want to get research off of because people can change it?
Wikipedia?
Wikipedia, yep, that's it.
Oh, Lord, Wikipedia.
Yeah.
I've had students straight cut and paste answers out of Wikipedia and put them down as an answer.
That's awful.
But the thing is, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't be giving anybody ideas, but they don't even like take out the links.
So hold on just a second.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ice cream. That is not my ice cream. It's Starbucks, people. It's Starbucks. Okay.
Holla.
Hello, Kitor.
Hello.
Keithor brought me Starbucks. And see, we have a video so I can actually show you to prove, for those of you that see, it's Starbucks. And Starbucks. He did not bring ice cream. That is his medicine, not mine. No. Anyway, moving forward.
Well, what's in the bag? What's in the bag?
Oh, my gosh. Have you ever had the maple muffins at
No, I have not.
Starbucks? I hadn't either until I went to Fort Worth a couple weeks ago. And I was like, give me a muffin. I don't care what kind. It's morning. I need something to eat. I haven't eaten anything. And she's like, maple? And I went, yeah, sure, whatever. Oh, my God. These are amazing. So maple muffins. And so they have nuts in them. And so if you're allergic to nuts, don't get that. Obviously. Is it maple? What's it called?
Yes, it's maple like pecan.
Okay, so maple and pecans.
Maple like pecan.
Maple like pecan. Is this your? Are you teaching English classes again?
Yes.
Anyway, and then
Learning them how to speak good.
you're learning them how to speak good. Yes, and then I get a violet drink. Which
Violet drink?
he always changes to violent, but it's a violet drink because I don't drink coffee. So, yeah, Starbucks.
You don't drink coffee?
I don't drink coffee.
Why?
I tried so hard. I literally drank coffee every morning for 2 months, thinking, okay, it's an acquired taste. I will acquire this taste.
Never.
Never. I still couldn't stand it. If I drink coffee, would you stop that? It's your medicine. I have medicine too, though. I mean, it's not like I don't have medicine, but that's not mine.
I mean, I could go grab my allergy meds.
I have some right here. I took some. It's not that one. Oh, where'd they go? I took it before the podcast started.
God, we have been all over the place on tonight.
Yeah, it's a little. I can edit. It's all good.
No, I don't think you should. I think it should be like.
So we're gonna edit like a Prillion, apparently. We're gonna edit like a Prillion.
Okay.
He wants to not edit. Aprillion is the main host of a podcast named Ka, and they always say they're going to edit like Aprillion. Aprillion doesn't edit anything. She just throws it all in there. Okay, so sorry, all of the randomness, yes. Oh, do you want to do the heartwarming story since I did the poo story? You can do the heartwarming
story. Let's see here. Let me get my computer's old and gets cranky. I have to close tabs.
He does need a new computer.
I do. Might be a dead link.
Oh, I sent it to you earlier. Oh wait, no, I had it earlier. I can get another one if need be. I know where I got it from.
Yeah. The one I'm clicking says it is
errors.
Not
there. Rude. Okay, let me grab it again because I know where I got it from.
Aye.
And I'm not going to tell y'all because I don't want you to like steal all of my themes.
Mm-hmm.
I read this too. I actually read it. And so, accused perv gets off in subway masturbation case after a large penis defense. Yeah. Okay, there we go. I has it. Okay. Try this one. This one should work. So we are full of technical difficulties this time. We are full of randomness. We are not awake.
Dude, I think that, I don't know, at least me, you're more tech savvy than I am. But I'm like, technology's neat. Yay, technology. Like, you would just like send me a link over the internet and it's on my computer. And I'm still, I've been on computers for, 28 years. And it's still just like, this is cool.
Internet came out when we were in high school for the public. Just so y'all know.
Mm-hmm.
I had dial-up AOL internet for the first time when I was 16.
I don't even remember the first time I had internet.
Well, when I was 16. And so, theoretically, internet's not as old as people think, although people that have been born, of course, after us have never been without it. And so, did that one work?
Dude, I get students who are born in 1998 or later, like they're born after I graduated from high school now.
I know.
I used to never feel old. Now I'm just like, no, I'm
old. I've always felt old. I was 28 for like 9 years, which means I just barely decided to be my real age. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so yeah, I got the link. And so I had a really bad thought when I just saw this. And I'm like, I don't know if I should say it. Because it's let me see here. So the deadliest, so essentially Sierra Nevada, which makes a pretty good IPA, they brewed a new beer, and the proceeds are going to help all of the fires that are going on in California right now.
Mm-hmm. And they started their little relief fund with a $100,000 donation. So they started it out with throwing some money in there, and then everything from the brew is going to... At first I thought that they gave the people who had the fire beer, but they didn't. They fed them, and they gave them blankets and clothing.
Dude, I saw this this comedian. I forgot who it was, and he went on this rant about Guy Fieri, about kind of like what a good guy Guy Fieri was, and like how everybody hates him. You can't figure out why. Because apparently, like Guy Fieri goes out to like wildfires and like cooks food for firefighters and
Is
does
he
all this.
really?
Apparently,
Well,
and he does all this stuff without like you know publicity or anything or.
well, he definitely has a very specific personality.
Mhm.
And I know that some people that I don't think he's on Food Network. I think he's on the Cooking Channel. I can't remember which one he's on, but people get tired of him because they're like, "This is blonde guy again. Oh my God, get rid of him."
Mhm.
And he has like a bunch of shows. He's got Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives. He's got the grocery race one. I mean, he's got a ton of stuff. I've never minded him. I thought that he was pretty fun, but they get tired of his personality. I guess some people do.
Yeah. He went to UNLV. Fun fact.
Did he really?
Yeah, that was on a episode of Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives. He went to some place in Vegas.
He's, I'm sure, gone to a lot of places in Vegas.
Dude, I've been to Vegas a couple times, but I always try to go because everybody's done the Strip. Everybody can do the Strip. You know, it's not that exciting. But I found out that they had a Liberace museum, and it got even better because the Liberace museum was in a strip mall in suburban Las Vegas, which I just thought was so appropriate. And it's not there anymore. They got rid of it for some reason. But yeah, I was one of the fortunate last to go to the Liberace Museum in Las Vegas.
When we actually have friends that live in Vegas, and when we went there, she took us to the old strip, and we just kind of kept walking. Yeah. And there's a lot of places down. If you go on the old strip, and there's that part where they have like the zip line or whatever, and then the ceiling is really cool. But anyway, if you keep walking the other direction, just kind of keep going, there's tons of places that have live music.
Yeah, the first time I went to Vegas, I got online and I looked up, you know, because again, right, everybody knows the strip, everybody knows where the best hotels were and the best casinos. I went the opposite direction. I'm like, what are the worst casinos? Let's go see those.
The Hooters.
No. Oh, no.
Hooters is bad.
See, this is what made me think, like, when you're on Fremont Street and you walk the opposite direction, there are some questionable places.
Oh, I was talking about the other strip. Yeah, you're talking about Fremont Street, which is the original strip. Yeah, no, but we went down away from the casinos, though, and toward the live music, because of course she lives there, and so she was like, I don't want to go to the casino. And we're like, we don't blame you, it's fine. We actually don't go to gamble anyway, so we're here, we go to see the shows and to see everything like that. We love to see a Cirque or to see the magic shows, or last time we got to see the Blue Man Group. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Blue Man Group's good.
Oh yeah, it was a blast. And my husband got a picture standing beside the Blue Man doing the same like facial expression that he was doing. It was really cool.
Nice.
But I don't know if we would go to the sketchy casinos. That's interesting. But we did find some really great live music, and we literally had so many to choose from over there. We had like tons that we could choose from, and it was great. We tried one and it was just too loud, and so we just kept walking. And we found one that had like you know, because after it gets cooled down in Vegas, the temperature is really nice. Typically, sometimes it stays really high. But we found a place that actually had opened up like their whole front. They had a way that they could just open up a little bit, or they could open up the whole thing. So it's like the whole wall is missing. And we were able to get food and drinks and just listen to the band there, and it was so much fun.
Nice.
But
yes, but don't be. Yeah, so there's a lot of cool things in Vegas besides just, you know, like.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not just for gambling.
Yes. Hoover Dam's pretty decent.
Been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were there before they built that highway that went across where you had to go across the dam. And so we went down there around that time, and it took us a while to get across, but we have actually stopped and walked across it. And yeah, no, it's really nice.
Yeah.
You know, piece of history.
Yeah.
But anyway, about this article.
Oh yeah, right. We were talking about something.
We had this kind of day today.
But yeah. So I might need to wrap up.
Okay. All right. Well, just so you know, they created a brew that's specifically for the fires. And so if you happen to like beer, maybe, and you live in that area, look for Resilience Butte County Proud IPA. All of the proceeds from that go to the Sierra Nevada Campfire Relief Fund.
Yeah. And they make a pretty good IPA, so it's probably pretty decent.
I don't drink beer either. No coffee, no beer. I'm very boring.
Oh, come on. Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do?
Well, I drink some things, just not beer, and I don't do it very often. But I know I'm not a prude. I swear, I'm just really boring.
Well, we love you anyway.
Thank you very much. Okay, so Mike needs to go. It's really late his time, just so you know. He's that's probably why we're so scattered today. We did not get to record earlier in the day like we usually do. We'll see about next week if we can do that. I will try to get this posted. This is going to be random. Mike says no editing, so we are not going to edit despite the craziness here. And so
give the people what they want.
Randomness?
Yeah, don't they?
Distraction?
They're listening to us.
True. Good point. All right, don't forget that you guys can send messages to us. The email address is omgnap@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. If you find a news article that you think that we should use on the show, or just to say hello, we'd love to hear from you. We also have Twitter at OMGNAP. And then I have created a Facebook page as well. And so if you look for me, or if you already know me and you can find the Twitter page, or I'm sorry, the Facebook page, or you can just look for Oh My Goodness, Not Another Podcast, and it should pop up for you. So there's lots of ways to keep track of us. And since Mike needs to go, we're gonna say goodbye now.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining us today in this very random podcast. We'll I don't know, we'll do better or we won't. I'm not sure. We got through all of our, by the way, we got through all of our stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not bad for us.
Fascinating. Anyway, okay, so I'll make sure we have that not safe for work thing. All right, so you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. And so will Mike. Bye.